behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Paul Mash TV. Paul Mash TV.
Well, hello there. It's Paul Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. We got another great interview coming up for you in just a moment. But before we begin, don't forget we have that subscribe and bell down there. Just click them both on here on YouTube, and anytime a new episode comes your way, you'll be notified. You can check that out, and we'd love to hear from you in the comments section, so leave a comment if you like. And also, we're on Facebook, facebook.com/Paul Mash TV. And if you can follow us there and send us an inbox and comment on everything you see. And email us at paulmashtv, all one word, at gmail.com. And if you're a band or a solo artist that would like to, be on the show, we'll show you how to do that by emailing us there. And we love fan mail as well, so email us if you're a fan, and we'll get back to you. And all this is going to be recapped at the closing credits at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. From Boston, Massachusetts, we have Linda Marks with us today. She's an awesome artist, and I think you're going to agree. And we got a great song after that, as usual. And we'll get to that in a second because it starts right now. All right, everybody, it's interview time as promised. And with us from Boston, Massachusetts, we have Linda Marks with us today. Thank you for joining us, Linda.
My pleasure, Paul. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. We're glad to have you. Why don't you start by telling us a little bit about why you decided to become an artist? Because, everyone has their own story, and I'm sure good story.
Well, I wouldn't say I decided to become one. I can say I was more born one. As a little girl, I didn't talk till I was 3, but I was magnetically attracted to any piano I could get my fingers near. And my family didn't have one. Unfortunately, my father's motto was music is a waste of a good mind. So it was not pleasing to him when he discovered that he had a little girl who was passionate about music. So in essence, I've had a lifelong journey of accepting that that is my first language. It's my deepest expression, it's who I am. And I bought my own piano when I was 12 or 13 years old in order to have one. I taught myself how to play. I went to Yale University, and even though I was self-taught, I managed to major in music and graduate with honors and distinction. And I co-founded Yale's third women's a cappella singing group when I was a 17-year-old freshman. It's still there. I went into music not only when I was in college, but afterwards. And my first album came out when I was in my early 20s. And I've always founded artist alliance groups, which I did then, and I've done it recently. But I'd say I have 2 chapters to my professional musical career, because I call it, I fell under the undertow of life. I needed to figure out how to make enough money as I became a single mom and had a mom with Alzheimer's. I was in the middle of what they call the intergenerational sandwich. And there was no way I could be a single mom with no child support, taking care of a young son, and then later with a mom with Alzheimer's. So until my mom died, I couldn't give it 1,000%. But in the years since she's died, I've released 12 more albums and have a couple more in the works. So that's why I say I didn't make a choice to become one. I'm more accepted and embraced that I am one.
Okay, well, that's quite a story there. And I hope you'll have a few more years left in you at least. And
I expect there to be more decades. So yeah.
Okay. Well, what are some of the artists that you grew up with that helped inspire you? I'm sure there's a few.
When I was a little kid, I listened to everything I could possibly listen to. So, everything from folk music to calypso music to jazz music. But the singer-songwriters, when I was a little kid growing up, the whole singer-songwriter movement started to happen. And as a curly-haired person, everyone always compared me to Carole King. And so I listened to a lot. I also really liked her music. So James Taylor, Carole King, Linda Ronstadt on that side. And I also had a thing about Broadway musicals. And I remember when Godspell came out and Pippin and Jesus Christ Superstar, those all caught my attention. And even though he's recently just died, Burt Bacharach and Hal David, they wrote all these songs and Dionne Warwick sung them. And I discovered Dionne Warwick. I learned every song in the Hal David Burt Bacharach songbook. and how Harry Belafonte just died when I was a little kid. I discovered his music. So I had pretty wide ranging tastes, and I would listen to whatever I could find.
Mm. Okay, yeah, Harry Belafonte was pretty awesome, and of course, as you said, he just passed away, and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, he was really good, and that's the thing about my show. You know, I do all genres on my show, anything from
Yeah.
reggae, heavy metal, country, whatever.
Exactly.
And it's good to know people that you know are kind of expandable in their genres. So
Right. Right. Absolutely. If, over the years, it's always been hard to be pegged in just one genre because I'm a piano player, I'm not a guitarist. And I have more of an elegant soprano voice, not like that earthy, folky voice. But I write songs at the heart of our times, which sort of fit more in the folk box. But I often get described as a genre bending artist because I could send you 3 different songs and they fit in 3 different genres.
okay, well, tell us a little bit about where we can find your music, because might be watching right now, want to know if it's on all streaming media. They may want to find.
Yeah, it's on, you name the streaming media. My YouTube channel, if you Google Linda Marks and YouTube, you'll find me. I love YouTube because I can put all kinds of content from what I just wrote to, performances at top venues, lyric videos, albums, something raw, something really highly polished. It all goes there, and it's really meaningful to do it. I happen to like watching music on YouTube and seeing people perform. But I'm on every platform, whether you like Spotify or Pandora or iTunes or Apple Music or Deezer, you name it. I'm on all of the platforms. And I think 12 of my albums are on most of them. It's like over time, the ways you find things change. So once upon a time, people bought CDs, that's now sort of what people put coffee mugs on top of. So, but my first album came out before all that internet stuff, so it couldn't possibly be there. But certainly a big chunk of my albums are on all the platforms.
Okay, well, what about social media like Facebook and so forth?
Yep. Yeah, you can find me on social media, both under my name, Linda Marks, and then I have a Linda Marks music page on both Instagram and Twitter. I'm LSM Heart, so LSMHEART. So you can find me on all of those platforms.
Okay. Well, go to your favorite social media site and all your favorite streaming sites and find Linda Marks there. I know she would love you for that. And
absolutely.
And we're getting ready to watch your music video. Ghosts, I think is the name of it.
Yes.
Well, why don't you tell us a little story about that song?
Absolutely. I'm going to tell 2 different sides to the story. During the pandemic years, I was someone who always went to the gym 7 days a week my whole adult life, and then the gyms closed and it wasn't safe to go. So I started this practice of taking a walk on about a 2.5-mile circuit in my ordinary neighborhood looking for beauty. And what's amazing is if you look for beauty, there's so much beauty to be found, and it changes every single day. So I've been taking photographs for over 3 years of beauty and posting them. And recently, a lot of people have been saying the songs I've been writing are like my photographs. So there's often a lot of visual imagery in the song. So in the song that I wrote, Ghost, which is the one we're going to share, it's actually in the other side of it, besides the visual imagery and going around looking for beauty and gardens and things like that, is some people close to me lost loved ones during the pandemic. And it was really hard. A very close friend of mine, actually, his wife was diagnosed with glioblastoma at the beginning of March 2020. And so when she went through every part of her treatment, my friend and his kids couldn't go to the hospital. They weren't allowed there. The only way that they could even make contact with her is if she was being taken from the hospital, out the hospital in an ambulance to where they did some of the radiation treatment. They would be in the parking lot waiting to wave to her. And now when people have gone through things like that, today people I heard it called pandemic amnesia. It was a very hard period of time. We're sort of still in it, but it's more endemic now. And so people don't want to think about it. And what that does is it makes the people who died during that time invisible, but it also makes the loved ones left behind invisible. So I wrote Ghosts sort of in recognition of both the people who lost loved ones and the people left behind over the last 3 years.
Okay, well, that's quite a story there, and I want to apologize. My phone keeps going off, so I'm sorry that it keeps going off. Hopefully that'll be the last time anyway.
Mhm.
But yeah, great story, and we're going to watch that in just a moment. And but before we do, thank you so much, Linda, for being on the show today. We'd love to have you back again sometime. So
Absolutely. I'd be glad to come back, and thank you for having me.
yeah, no problem. And here it is, Ghost by Linda Marks, and it begins right now.
Summer flowers of pink and gold marked our painted cottage on Little Road. Green basil, sage, and tarragon, but without you, the garden plot was forlorn. You're a ghost and you haunt me in my dreams. Familiar voice, my heart trembles when you sing. You're the breeze, brush my curtains when I sleep. Your well-worn hands are still reaching out to me. We would grow old together, the wind rustling through our hair. Instead of grandkids on the porch, I'm alone in your rocking chair. You're a ghost and you haunt me in my dreams. Familiar voice, my heart trembles when you sing. You're the breeze, brush my curtains when I sleep. Your well-worn hands are still reaching out to me. In a heartbeat, our lives changed for good. Your fever rose, your spirit waned. They wouldn't let me through the doors, said goodbye through the window panes. So many died, forgotten now. That doesn't change the deal. Today most people won't look back, though unseen. My loss is still real. We are ghosts, I am here and you are gone. Signets once, you a cub and I a swan. Lifelong love, pond reflections of lived years. Though now I grieve